What's going on, you guys? Facebook, YouTube, wherever this video ends up. I'm sure by now people are aware of the death of George Floyd, right? By dying, by the police putting his knee on his neck. And when I saw that video, I was furious. Beyond furious, right? I was super angry, so I called my mentor, Dominic. And after I finished giving him my spiel on how I felt, he gave me 2 points that I wanted to share. One was a scripture that says, when sin abounds, grace abounds much more. And when he said that, it didn't make sense at the time, because I'm over here looking at it from a natural eye, like, how in the world is grace gonna, help this situation? Like, the guy just died, and you're saying grace is gonna help me out. I'm not understanding that reference at the time, or the scripture. And then point number 2, he encouraged me. He said, just, run back to God, right? And allow God to do what only he can. He told me to play worship and just to really soak up, more of God, right? So that's what I did. I got off the phone with him, and I played all my top worship songs, all my Jesus Culture, all my Bethel, all my Elevation, and as I was really just pouring out to God, just worshiping and just singing to him, that grace that Dominic spoke about just began to and what the scripture talks about, or how I interpret it, when it says when sin abounds, grace abounds much more. When you seek after God and run after him through worship, through whatever kind of form you want, God will meet you, right? And he'll, like that much more part in the scripture means that, to me, that, like, God will just allow you to feel his presence for you to understand what's going on, right? To understand the sin rather than you just looking at the sin, right? So that's kind of how I interpret it. So as I was listening to the sermon, back up. As I was worshiping God through his grace, he reminded me of a camp meeting that I was at my spiritual grandfather's church, Apostle Thompson, Apostle Thompson Sr. And he, at the time, Bishop David Forbes was preaching, and in his sermon, Bishop Forbes said that you have to deal with the broken areas of your soul, right? Our soul encompasses our imaginations, our thoughts, our heart, our mind, disappointments, all those things that happen to us in our life, they're in our soul, right? And our soul can sometimes become, fractured or broken, and the enemy wants us to do our own repair, right? Through, how I would repair my soul. I would repair it through, pornography, sex, alcohol, whatever type of way that I just wanted to just get over it, I got over it. And that's what he wants. It's just a bandage on that situation because I'm not giving it to God, right? So I did that. Like an hour ago, I was on my floor just worshiping, pouring out. And like God began to just really work on me, and that message that I was listening to from Bishop Forbes, I'll put the video in the comments or in the description or wherever. So anyways, as I began to do that meaning, like give it to God and allow God to really just give me a different perspective, because, God showed me where I'm wrong. How could I be looking at the situation, another way, right? God just began to just work on me and just different areas of my soul that I was just really hurt on in the past about, from, George Zimmerman through Trayvon Martin, through, the shooting in Georgia, all those things that would happen. I wouldn't really go back to God for counsel. I would just really just listen to it. And like this matter that just happened, that was like the last straw for me. I didn't know how to, contain myself. So God just really just spoke to me as I was listening to the message, and he's like, we don't come from where we think we come from. Like, the issue isn't black versus white. It's just sin, right? And the devil is just using this for us to, to continue to bump heads against each other, right? In the message, Bishop Forbes is talking about we come from Eden, right? And I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but bottom line up front, I believe mankind came from Eden, right? Adam was the first of us, and then we just all came from Adam. And when we understand that there's no division, that there's no, white blood, black blood, it's only one blood, it's Jesus' blood, right? And when we all understand that we all come from him, it just makes life so much easier, because we now have a perspective of, I come from God rather than I come from Africa, or I come from wherever you think your last name derived from. I just wanted to post this video, to make this video, and just, allow you guys just to give you something else to ponder about other than what we just saw, and just look at it from another perspective of, if it made you as mad as it made me, maybe you may have some areas in your soul that you may have to give to God, right? And allow him to do what only he can, and to, ultimately just leading to forgiveness, so you can truly walk in love. So that's all I got. Love you guys. Peace out. I'm signing out.